is long path. You said teach these girls or teach women. We have to teach them. They're listening to us. What about teaching them? If you teach a female or teach a girl, she goes back to the same hell and same bad environment too. Like it goes both ways. I'm saying
Mm,
teach the men
I
because
mean,
the men should lead, and I think that accountability definitely needs to be on both ends. I honestly
so
believe that.
love you. You have to. So just because I understand your point, but you really have to focus on the topic at hand. Men and women is not mutually exclusive, right? So in terms of addressing the women, you guys will be injured, hurt, killed, taken advantage of. So if you keep saying, "Well, the men better do something," by the time the men end up doing something, girls are kidnapped, raped, hurt, maimed, killed. So it's very important for you to teach them how to protect themselves by being subtle, right? By remaining submissive to all men to some extent. Because he's right. I got out the car going to the bar. This lady was protecting this, like, I don't know, she was a little security guard. And this dude was just cursing her out. And she just like, "Sir, I just asked you to move down the block." And she's talking like that.
Mm-hmm,
He's like, da 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 da. So I'm like, "Yo, you don't fucking hear her?
mm-hmm.
Move down the block." Now, if I get out the car and she like, ga, 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 I'm like, "Oh shit, she got it then." But because she was and she was small, and she was just like, "I'm just asking you to scoot down to," she was just literally asking him because she had to keep the alley clean.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, "Yo, bro, move down the fucking block, or one of us gonna get beat up." You know
So
what I'm
that's
saying?
that's admirable of you, Hamp. But I remember on a couple of podcasts, several to be exact, a lot of men on Tuesday and Wednesday sat there and said, "I am not protecting a woman I don't know." They said it. So you have such honor. You did do that. But there's a lot of men that were on this podcast and said they would not have done what you did.
No,
They said it.
I'm not even pushing against that. I'm just saying when she was who she was and presented as such, then I had that innate feeling to make sure she was solid. If 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 she does what you said, get aggressive and all that. Now when I pop out, all I see is the aggression because that's where I landed. Now I'm like, okay, she got it. Then do you see that?
I definitely hear you. Yeah,
There's
because
more
it's
of an
like the gentle and
opportunity.
distress thing, like kind of like I'm she's a weaker vessel. I get that. And again, I'm gonna keep on talking about the honor and your innate honor that you have, right?
So what do y'all
Because
have?
hold on, unpopular truth. Because there's been podcasts, and please acknowledge if you're
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
please
yeah, yeah, yeah,
acknowledge
yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So even if this woman encountered one of these men on this podcast and she was being just as soft, and this dude was still cussing her out, that one of these men, 90% would have sat there and let her get cussed out. Ain't none of my business, ain't none of my
So, love,
responsibility.
I'm actually disagree. Here's why.
No, you can't disagree because
Well,
they
no,
said it on this
well.
podcast.
Can I make my alternative point and then you can rebut? So I think men are saying that in the with their conscious mind. Like women are tripping nowadays. I would not, but I want you to take a look because we all have Instagram. When a car flips over, when it's a child and a mom in there, who rushes to the car? All strangers. All right, literally gas pouring out and the car is on fire, risking their life to save. Men, like you said, you used the word innately, will help people in need. You
I said
just got
Hamp
to be
because Hamp has
really
said it.
in need.
Yeah.
Especially first off, we help children. That you're literally gonna throw yourself in front of a car for a child you don't know. That is innate. But a woman, like I said, the best chance we have for our women to protect themselves is to not to get into these altercations because we understand that some men are unhinged,
That's the
some men
key.
have mental issues. These homeless men out here are on different types of drugs. They're dangerous. Let me tell you something that a staff sergeant told some female Marines while I was a corpsman attached to one of those units. We were doing deployment training, and he isolated all the female Marines and said, "I need you to follow every instruction that's given to you. Never detach yourself from the male Marines because there are tortures specific to your gender." That means that men seek to do things to you that they won't even think to do to a man. That's why we're telling you be careful. That made it hit home for me that the Taliban gonna try to take me out to get to them so they can do specific torturous things to them that they wouldn't do to me because
Ain't
it's
it?
considered rainbow.
Mike, I
That's
think that
frightening to me. All right.
just to
I'm just
provide
telling you
some,
be careful. Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Mom.
sorry,
Danny.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Just to provide some context, what Love is referring to, the conversations that we had prior on the show, were, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, love, but I believe they were specifically about men potentially intervening in domestic disputes if they saw those on the street, right? It wasn't so much, I'm not going to pull a person from a burning car or, something like that. But it was just, I believe that's how the conversation started and it evolved from there. But that was just kind of the general sentiment is, I don't know this woman. I'm not going to be a hero. I'm not going to get involved because I might lose my life or I might, who knows what will happen. But more importantly, and that was the sentiment there as well as it is tonight, we don't know what she did to provoke this man. Mm-hmm. That's where it landed. And it's always, again, the same conversation. We don't know what she did to provoke this person to inflict pain or harm to her. And that is the problem across the board. Okay.
Context too, Dana. Context on that also is in that same conversation. If women were presenting as submissive and vulnerable, they were more apt to receive protection. That was also said in that same conversation.
It was.
So I'm trying to figure out though, Hamp, how many of y'all ladies will intervene if you seen a man getting much disrespected, talk crazy to? Which one of y'all ladies will jump on the sword and get in there and come save me?
If it was a woman talking to a man, I would.
So nobody else. Okay, I appreciate your role. Thanks for saving me.
Where's my cat?
Rest y'all ladies don't give a damn.
That's not true. We already had this conversation. But that we already had this conversation. We said we would do. We've already had this conversation.
But let me say this, love. We also know that some of these situations where they're scamming people, where you'll see two people arguing, get into a fight, and then they're trying to rob you and get over on you. How do you know that's not the whole scam? You don't know people's intentions. So my best way to involve myself, I'm going to call the police. That's the most I can do for you, because I don't want to mess around and get stabbed, hurt, like you said. I don't have no problem with somebody saying, I got to go home to my family. I understand that.
Yeah,
because I'm going to call the police, and I'm going to say, hey, man, this girl's over getting her ass drugged up and down the street. You might want to get over real fast.
Yeah.
Hey, but you're right. But that was sorry. You're right for saying that, but that wasn't the sentiment. The sentiment was, what did she do to deserve this man talking to him like that or her like that?
And that should be the sentiment.
I'm talking to him. What did she do to provoke him?
You see it? You see?
Because you keep interrupting. You're being rude. You're being rude.
So,
Stop.
Go ahead, Dana. Finish. Go ahead.
The sentiment is always, what did she do to provoke this man to respond to her that way? It wasn't, and the conversation, that question was actually raised. Would you call the police? And a lot of the people that responded were like, nah, I'm not getting involved. That doesn't have nothing to do with me. That's between them. And that's problematic to me. And that's the only point that I've been trying to make.
You know the ill shit, right? Not to overdo it in the conversation, but I almost look at it like if I'm teaching my daughters, if you out in the woods, right, and you see a bear, don't poke that motherfucker, because they ain't gonna reflect and say, yo, that bear mauled the shit out of her. Why the fuck was you bothering the bear? That's almost how we have to look at it, and that may be unfortunate, right? But yo, bro, don't poke these fucking bears, bro. Because if the bear starting to maul your ass, motherfuckers ain't gonna say, well, damn, the bear should have thought more about it because he knew he was more powerful.
And
I get that, Hamp, and I think it would be more powerful if the conversation just went both ways, and I just feel like it doesn't.
And you're right, Dana, but remember that you asked me for that statistic last week, and I shared it. In the context of today's time, women start more of those domestic disputes than men do. So a man, like I forgot,
You're doing it right now.
There were dudes, but you got to let me finish. There are dudes that are literally used to, it's your environment, right? So if somebody lives in the inner city of Houston, 3rd Ward, and they're used to seeing people fighting up and down the street, I have dudes that work security to say, why is it always the 5-foot ladies, like the little joints, swinging on dudes like they can actually fight? So if that's what he's used to seeing, he's wondering. So we're not used to seeing men aggress against women, and we're seeing a woman, maybe she is belligerent, maybe she's arguing back, but we always have these conversations in the assumption that women are perfect angels and they deserve none of it. So I think it works both ways, absolutely.
But you know
There's-
something, in a
that's
weird
not the
type of
assumption.
way, some of you ladies like them toxic type dudes. Y'all get
They
like
love them. They love them.
and aggressive. They argue with you. Some of y'all ladies are like that, unfortunately.
And like I was saying, like
I don't
Y'all
heard
not even going to
she
refute that.
thinks
Hold on.
she
They're not
thinks
even gonna-
the
they're not even
attitude
gonna
of the
dispute
woman
that
just
shit.
doesn't matter.
I heard him speak.
You got the attitude of the woman has to matter in these situations. You can't just say, "Oh, she got hit with a brick. Oh, that's all we're gonna think about." It got to be. Me ain't gonna try to figure out what actually happened. We always gonna do that. So y'all can get that out your mind that we ain't gonna do that. We gonna always try to say, "Okay, what happened? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, this is why she got hit. Now we trying to solve the problem after that." But we ain't. We got a lot. We got to make it logical in our mind. We just can't say, "Oh, we just finna jump every time when somebody get hit." No, you can't do that.
Truth. Let me actually make because this
Well,
is
let me-
actually a very good
Hold on,
conversation.
y'all.
Let me make this
Hold the thought real quick. Let me just get these super chats. And I just want to make sure that Dana, if one of the other ladies love, they want to respond to anything that y'all just said, I want to make sure we got room. Mike Brown with a $2 super chat. Ro trying to get niggas fired.
Facts.
Man, Ro, stop that shit, man. Caesar's Palace with a $5 super chat. Love, if black men are the leaders, you should follow us right or wrong as a collective. If black men in mass tell women to go left, then you better not go right.
If we tell them to go left, that means they're absolutely going right.
Spoon Zaza with the $2 super chat. This chick ain't trying to understand shit. Omega Green with the $5. Using the example of the Somalian woman, is it honorable to protect women that are brash, obnoxious, rude, and purposefully put herself in harm's way? You'd be a fool. Reese Anderson with the $5. Black women have always done stuff in their own self-interest. You can even go back to slavery and see why we be obligated to risk our lives. Man, that nigga brought it all the way back. T.O. with the $5. Women listening to men are moving safer to best avoid this is protection. There will always be crazy men, and others won't always be there to stop it. That's the fucking sentiment. Savage Recovery with the $20.
Shit like that. Shit like
Love,
that.
you gonna
Shit
read
like
for
that.
Savage
Shit
or
like
what?
that. Shit like that.
Love.
Read it in the white sarcastic voice.
Lady, wait, I don't know if I do a white voice. Ladies, you have to understand. We have the chance of getting charges by the women helping. There's no periods or anything. Helping. There was a story of a. Oh, I can hold on.
Wow. Bruh.
We have the chance of getting charges by the women helping. Period. There was a now he needs better grammar. There was a
White
story of a kid.
sarcastic this. Come on.
There was a story of a kid stop to break up a guy beating up a woman. He said woman. The guy shot him. The woman lied and said the kid attacked her.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
I
Shit
want
like
to
that.
see
Tony
his
Ball.
periods because it was hard to understand that.
Savage with the $5. Guy got a stalking case stopping helping a woman with her car broke down. What the fuck?
Why do they always use the worst examples, sit there and justify their crap? Like, this is nuts to me.
Savage with the $5. A guy and a girl stopped to help some woman. The woman shot at them and the guy shot back, killed one, and died. Reese Anderson with the $5. Just today, I saw some young black chicks right dress goods hang up. Chicks, right the fuck? Come on, man. God damn. Some right chick, black right goods hanging out with an old white man. Y'all always done stuff in your own self-interest.
Rent's doing a little bit.
Yo, maybe that's it.
That's that incel talking we talking about. Like, y'all just hate women. Every little snide, snarky remark. That's
So
crazy.
black men can't make jokes. Married black men is incel. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Just
like
talking
Black
about
Man
the
said.
comment.
Talking about Reese. Can I finish these?
Yeah,
Savage with the $5.
Hit dog holler.
I seen a video of a guy in a wheelchair ask a girl out. She made fun of him for being crippled. Good God Almighty. True Impact with the $10. Trigger Mike needs to pay attention to his own home. Never understood that. T.O. with the $5. If men are leaders, they're leaders all the time, not when you feel like it. There's bad and good leaders, but they're still leaders. Does not change.